They say it's lonely at the top, but at many charities, it's also very lucrative. A recent Wall Street Journal analysis finds tax-exempt organizations provided seven-figure compensation to approximately 2,700 employees in 2014. Here with us to discuss is Wall Street Journal reporter Andrea Fuller. Hi, Andrea. Great to see you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So the Journal found some very high numbers, significantly higher than the last time sort of charity compensation was analyzed, what, about 5 years ago?
Yeah, so we looked at data comparing 2011 to 2014 and found that there had been an increase of about a third in the number of people who received million-dollar pay packages.
Right, which seems kind of in lockstep with the way CEO compensation has been rising, except that we're talking about nonprofits here.
Right. So nonprofits include hospitals and colleges as well as traditional charities like the Red Cross, the United Way, but they're all treated the same under tax law.
Which is why some of this information is coming to light, correct? The IRS did something for the first time that they haven't done before. Tell us about that.
Right. So they released this data in a digitized format so that we could analyze the actual numbers and compare different organizations and different charities. Before, you had to look up each charity's paper filing online, and now you can
the IRS
use data.
Just put it all out there.
They put it all out
there.
there.
Which is good, because if you're a donor, I suppose you want to know where your money is going if you're donating to a charity, right?
Absolutely. It's something donors really care about. Advocacy groups say that it's something they get a lot of complaints about, and people are surprised how much some nonprofit executives make because they think, well, this is a nonprofit, they should be earning a minimal salary.
Right. They're not in this presumably to get rich, right?
Right.
So the compensation that you looked at includes both small and large organizations. And I think it's interesting to point out that the Red Cross, for instance, which is one of the largest charities with one of the, I guess, largest endowments, doesn't pay anyone near a seven-figure salary.
Right. So the CEO of the Red Cross made about $500,000, still a lot of money, but much less than some much smaller charities with budgets maybe a 20th or less of the size of the Red Cross.
Very good information for a donor. Now, some of the people that stood out, let's talk about one CEO in particular, Anthony Tersigni of Ascension Health Alliance. He made $17.6 million in 2014.
So Tersigni's head of Ascension, which is one of the largest hospital operators in the country. And so their argument is this is really much like a private enterprise, and we're competing with the private sector in terms of recruiting top talent.
That's an argument made by a lot of these large organizations.
Correct.
They're competing with the private sector. There were also two executives from Harvard Management Company that made the list. They're not with the company anymore.
Yes.
13.8 million, one of them 10.5 million. So what do you think will be the fallout from this? I mean, obviously there is going to be some fallout.
Well, people like Chuck Grassley, Senator Grassley cares about this a lot. It's an issue he's brought up time after time over the years. This is, however, the first time we've had all of the data. It's been more anecdotal before, so we'll see what the reaction is in Washington.
So do you think that it will just be on a legislative basis, or do you think there'll be sort of grassroots movements from donors and boards?
It's really hard to tell. It's something that donors really care about, but I think that in the hospital and college sector, they really want to justify these salaries.
Right.
We had one college that the college president of an art school made $10 million last year.
Look, you know, there's nothing wrong with the $5 million. I mean, you know, it's not a matter of not paying people. It's just a matter of, like, do they really need to make $17 million a year?
And that's definitely the argument that I think a lot of people make is that why are these organizations getting this huge tax exemption on the order of $100 billion a year if they're really operating like private enterprises?
There will be a lot more people asking that question thanks to your story, Andrea. So thank you so much for that.